I see Cory. I see T-Top. I see Sakari. I see Tosh. Oh my God. I see Jamie. The rest of y'all I can't see.
Hi, Mr. Marshall.
Hello, y'all.
Hi, Dr.
So,
Marshall.
listen.
What's up, Doc?
We are here. We're gathered here. We got a little program, so hang on, you guys. First of all, happy 34th birthday to the club. It has been incredible and amazing and all of that these 34 years. I'm going to read something real quick that I think describes the way Jack and I feel. Jack is right here with me, as he's always been. And here's what I posted on LinkedIn. And I'm going to read this first. And it says, it's our birthday. Hard to believe it's been 34 years, but they say time flies when you're having fun. And that's exactly what it's been. All the amazing results, 250 college graduates, the 91% college graduation rate, the Street Soldiers radio show, the Alive and Free prescription, the Alive and Free movement, and the Alive and Free consortium replication projects, the book Street Soldier, the documentary Street Soldiers, all of the marvelous recognition and awards, and all of the amazing alumni in positions of leadership. For Jack and I think you would agree, it's all joy. Jack and I are so thankful that so many of you let us work with you and look out for you. God bless all of you. Believe me, we never take it for granted.
Right.
So we're on to year 35. So that's Jack and I's message to you. I'm gonna let him say something to you, and then we're gonna tell you who tonight is dedicated to and how we're gonna do. We don't have a real program, but we got an outline, so we're gonna follow the outline. And here he is, my partner for 34 years.
What's up, peoples? What's up? And of course, as always, I can't hear anything.
What's up, Jack?
What's up, Jack?
Hey, Jack.
What's up, Jack?
Hey, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
How you doing?
Good, but we started hot and we only get hotter. It's a funny thing, sometimes, we're getting to the main end of the journey, and the main end of the journey is to pass you the baton for you to take it, and then for you eventually to pass it on. And it's a big family. It's a big family, and that's what it is. And it's been that way from the beginning. So you're representing tonight. The light is on tonight, and you're the ones representing tonight. As Doc said, there's thousands of people that connect into Omega or Alive and Free. And I know when I say that, people look crazy, like he's tripping. He's really tripping. But I'm not tripping. I'm just telling the truth. And that's one thing, we've always told the truth. So that's a good thing, right? I don't know how many people can't tell the truth. They don't last long. This family is solid. This family is forevermore. Whether we're here or not, you take the baton. But we're going to be here for another 35, so don't trip. Don't. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And we're going to hear from you. And I see, should I say, Gloria Jiggetts is up at the top there. And, the one thing I miss personally, and a lot of you do too, is just to be in your company. I am in your company. You are in our company because we're always one. But I'm just saying, I saw something earlier on here that there's a picture of some family members together physically. And I just really could feel that. I could feel that. So the future looks good. The future looks great. We're coming together as one, as always. So settle back, pay attention. This 90 minutes will go quick. But get ready to just participate with the love and the spirit of change, the spirit of social awareness, the spirit of winning the race. For real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Shaw, you made it, Shaw. You made it. All right. Thank you. Love you.
So the number 34 is
I love you too, Jack.
So the number 34 is big, but there's actually, for me and maybe for Jack, a bigger number. And that is the number 50. Now, some of y'all hit 50 this year.
That's right. Praise God.
And the fact that you made 50 when we wasn't sure if some of y'all was gonna make it to 20 is a blessing. And if there was the one thing that we set out to do, it was to keep you alive and free. So I remember I sent the 34, and Jennifer Walker said, God, 34 years, you old. I said, girl, I was always old. You the one that's old. And that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted, I'm serious. And you guys know, we've been through a lot, praying and, you know, watching over you. And for the fact that you got to be 50 and then 60, and that's what we wanted. So 34 is 1 year, but 50, that's a big number. And those of you who were with us from the, you know, from the beginning know that 25 was a big age for brothers. We were celebrating getting with 25. So when somebody hit double 25, that is exactly what we wanted.
Hey, Cole, you'll be here. We'll be here when you hit your 75, man. We ain't going nowhere, Cole. We ain't going nowhere.
Hey, Jack, I had to take a nap to be ready for this tonight, man. I'm 50 for real.
That's right.
Listen, we're dedicating tonight to somebody who came in 1988. He was a staff member that we never had to pay for because he was a volunteer. But, you know, what he gave to us all the years he was with us physically, and all what he left us means that people actually walk into Omega, walk into Alive and Free and say, where's Coach? Because they think I'm talking about somebody who's, you know, gonna walk through the door. And that's how powerful Coach Wilbur Jiggetts was to us. So we're dedicating the night to him. The new group, the new Omegas, just learned the coachisms. So they're solely adopting their favorites to live by. Those words of wisdom that he gave us. And then we began to come up with our own coachisms, have been guiding lights, have been our North Star throughout our lives. And we are grateful to Coach's family. You see Miss Jiggetts up there? Is that Dr. Norris? Oh,
Hi,
you
Jack.
come later. You come later. Okay, you come later. Okay. We see Miss Jiggetts up there. And so the first thing answer we gotta say is thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your husband, sharing your family with us. There was a joke that some of us used to say to him that, Coach, I'm your best friend. I'm your best friend. And he'd always say, no, my wife is my best friend. So, and when he would leave the meetings, you know, no matter what time it was, he said, I'm going home to my wife. So Coach was just incredible. And we obviously, he left us with something that will be here for as long as there is Alive and Free and long there is Omega Boys Club. So we thought we'd dedicate tonight to him. So before we go to Ms. Jiggetts, all of us have seen this, but we show it every year. We're gonna show it again so that we can actually take a look at the wonderful, the magnificent Coach Wilbur Jiggetts.
Thank you.
But this is the grandfather of our organization. And he has meant and continues to mean so much to us. He is no longer with us, yet he has never left us, and he will always be with us. And so let's get this started.
Up next, a man who's helped gang members find a better way. They call him Coach. Find out in a moment why he's the subject of tonight's ABC 7 Salute.
I think I'm doing what everybody 74 years old ought to be doing in the community.
The remarkable and much honored Omega Boys Club in San Francisco is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. Despite its name, both boys and girls participate in this award-winning program that gets at-risk kids off the street and into college. One of the keys to the club's success, the subject of tonight's ABC 7 Salute. And here's Carolyn Tyler.
And I recommend it to each of you.
He's the wise man of the Omega Boys Club. 74-year-old Wilbur Jiggetts is the grandfather a lot of these kids wish they had.
I didn't have no grandpa. I never seen any of my grandpas.
There's a lot of grandmothers in these young people's lives, but a grandfather is a rarity.
You know what I'm saying? I love you, Coach.
They call him Coach because that's what Jiggetts used to do, coach basketball and teach at City College. But he joined a new team after filling in for his boss one day as a speaker at Omega.
I went back and told him, well, you got to get yourself another coach and another teacher because I got to go do that.
That was 14 years ago. Coach became part of a program that has taken former gang members, drug dealers, and other at-risk kids and shown them a better way. Omega has received numerous honors, including a MacArthur Genius Award for its co-founder, who says Wilbur Jiggetts is one of the keys to their success.
You know, to me, Coach is the anchor. It's like the buck stops with Coach. Coach is the most no-nonsense person around here.
You got to figure out what you ought to be doing.
He's a former military man, a tough but loving role model with a special connection to the teenagers who come here to be tutored, mentored, and nurtured.
The love that he has is unconditional, and he's able to express that well, you know, by the things that he does and the passion that he has.
The Omega Boys Club is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year, and Coach has been a part of it almost from the very beginning, coming here several times a week without pay, volunteering to try to help change young lives.
I don't really think I'm special. I think I'm doing what everybody 74 years old ought to be doing in the community. I'm wondering where the hell the rest of them are.
These pictures symbolize the greatest joy Jiggetts gets from what he does. 72 members of the Omega Boys Club have graduated from colleges all over the country, and their coach has been there to celebrate.
Looking at a young person who fought me every step of the way, Coach, I can't do that. That don't work for me. You don't know how it is out here on these streets. But to see him put all those excuses away and end up walking across the stage, that's a big thrill for me.
Now Coach is battling cancer. He'll miss a few of these club meetings, but says, don't worry, he'll be back.
I'm out of here.
Some people just give a little more. So we salute Wilbur Jiggetts for 14 years of time and effort that's made a difference in the lives of a whole lot of people.
There he is once again. Every time I see it, I get all messed up, of course. But it's a good messed up. It's a smiling messed up. It's a good feeling messed up. Yeah. What can you say? He's gone, but he showed damn. Oops, I can't curse in front of Mr. Jiggetts. He ain't forgotten. He's not forgotten. So before we begin to get some testimonies about Coach's favorite coachisms, let me turn to Gloria. It is wonderful to see you. You look great. Go ahead.
You, Mr. Marshall. Glad to be a part of this celebration. It's wonderful. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out to acknowledge Coach's contribution to the Omega Boys Club. And our family, we've always been very proud of what he did with the fellows there at the Omega Boys Club. And we thank you so much for choosing this day to celebrate his participation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all and keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Gloria, I get the years mixed up. He's been gone. What year was it that he passed away?
2003.
Okay. Okay.
So it'll be going into the 18th year.
Yeah. And that's hard to really imagine, think, because we talk about it all the time. It's been and I'm not the age Coach was when he passed away. So
yeah,
I'm not but yeah, this just from, and I'm gonna let Jack say something and then we got a few testimonials coming up, but you know, your relationship, the relationship the two of you had, that all that you have done personally with the Ella Finley Mission Group for the organization.
Yes.
We just want to say thank you for everything that your family has done for us.
Well, I really want to thank the members of the Ella Finley Mission Group of Jones Methodist Church here in San Francisco. That's how I really got involved with that group of ladies who on Tuesday nights would come and make a very simple meal to serve to those young people who were coming for their class session on Tuesday nights. And they would look forward to that preparation of that meal and coming and serving and then meeting those young people. I can remember some of the first group. I remember Joe Thomas, who was your first graduate. And Coach took me with him to Atlanta the day of his graduation. So we both were there to see Joe graduate in Atlanta. And it's Cory and Zach and Andre and Siobhan. And Mama Rita, I talked with her just the other day. She said she was hoping to get in on the program this evening. Mama Rita and her three beautiful girls, and who else? Siobhan and somebody else. Venus. Yes, I see Venus on Facebook quite often these days. But they were among that first group of young people that started with started with the Omega Boys Club. And Ella Finley Mission Group, where we started out, there were about 20 of us, I guess. I'm just trying to show this Heidi pictures. There were about 20 of us in the group at the start, but now we are down to about four or five members who are still with us. But we're always glad when we get the invitation to come and join you. So we're hoping maybe next year we'll be able, those of us who are still here, will be able to come and join in on your celebration as you celebrate your graduates and your young collegians who are going off to school. Thank you so much for.
Oh, we love you. 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 And so we're doing virtual 34, 35. We all gonna be, we'll probably be hugging each other so much we don't know what to do. I gotta tell the ones Coach went to every graduation. Early on, folks would ask me to go, and I said no. And they said, why? I said, because if I go to one and don't go to another, I'm gonna be in trouble. So Coach decided that he would do it, and a lot of the early Omega graduates have Coach right by their side when they took their graduation picture. But the only time he would not go is if he had to stay home with you. And you always came numero uno, and we knew that that he was a loner, and we were happy to have him. So once again, just thank you and your family so much. You'll always be with us. The Ella Finley Mission Group, I think, is the first donor we ever had back in 1987. I remember the check because I was so shocked to get a check. And you've been donors for all that time. So God bless you. God bless your family. Let's watch some of the Omegas talk about Coach. We want you to see this before we go.
My name is Cory Monroe. I started Omega Boys Club in 1988 with thanks to a friend by the name of CJ Scott, who also went to Omega with us. He told me about the club, and he said it was a great place for young people to go and get some education, because a lot of things was going on in the streets at the moment in our neighborhoods, growing up in Hunters Point, which I love Hunters Point. Great neighborhood, but drugs had hit our communities, and it was starting to pull young people every which way. So, we were trying to do what was right, but it was money in the street. So I tried, it just wasn't for me. So I ended up going to Omega Boys Club thanks to CJ, and it was just incredible. You know, we was going up there on Tuesdays and to see all the young people up there, you know, doing their homework after school. We had tutors up there. We had coach's wife, Miss Gloria, was cooking with her friends, and they would cook us a good meal, and we would, you know, do our homework, get a good meal. Then we had meetings with Jack and Dr. Marshall at the time, and it was just a great place to be for young people.
I then started working at the Mentoring Center in Oakland, which worked with young people coming out of the juvenile justice system. Years later, I became the executive director of that organization. And the joy of my work was every Friday drive in an hour and a half with Coach to go into the California Youth Authority and teach workshops with Coach every week. And continuing to send people to Omega that we were able to help come out of the system and turn their lives around. And Omega was able to take them from there and continue to help them go into college. And so it was a blessing for me to be able to go from being a client, if you will, right, a student of Omega, to really working in partnership with Coach and Jack and Dr. Marshall.
There's a coachism that I use still to this day. What works, works. What don't work, don't work. And I stress that importance with my children, because it makes no sense doing what doesn't work. You know, take your time, do it right, work together, easy done. Everything has a place. So those are just some things that, you know, I stress to them. And the biggest coachism that I stress, especially to my teenage son, he's 15, going on 16, and you know, he's definitely influenced by, you know, the culture, and there's a different type of culture now than when I was growing up. And you know, I stress the importance of, you know, a friend will never lead you to danger. You know, if they're making certain decisions that doesn't align with who you are and what I've taught you, then it doesn't make sense to do it.
All of the classes were geared towards you to think. And so I'm gonna pose these questions for you to think about it. I'm gonna talk about that. We're gonna get this information for you to think about it. And I want you to think about it, and then I want you to talk about it. So sometimes when we posing questions and then you talk about what you think and you hear what you think, you like, I think that? Like, man, so now that you put it that way, like, oh, so you realize not necessarily flaws in your thinking, but when you critically think about what you think, you can criticize yourself, and you can be able to recognize how you put yourself in a position, or the things that you do that led up to why you're in a position. Well, Coach said, if I ask you what needs to happen for your life to be better, and you tell me what somebody else needs to do, you got bigger problems. So you can't tell me what somebody else needs to do for your life to get better. You need to think about what it is that you need to do to make your life better. And so the key word there is to think.
I had to make some changes. And that's why I think Dr. Marshall said this kid needs to get his behind to college, far away from California to Atlanta. So, and I think that was really saved my life. And then, of course, with coaching, the coaches that they really emphasize. One of my favorites that I had to really master or really come to terms with was to not allow my circumstances to dictate my behavior. You know, and then, so all of that came into play in those classes early on in the early days. I still get a lot of it, some of it today, but it was really emphasized in us back then because a lot of us at that time could go either way, me included. You know, that's why Coach said, you know, all you got to do is turn right and keep going straight. You know, and it was simple stuff and simple wisdoms that just made sense. And you know, like Coach would say, what works work, what don't work don't work. It don't make sense to keep doing stuff that don't work. So whenever I'm ready to do something stupid, Coach would say, well, that worked. You know.
Oh my God, Gloria, do you see what your husband did to us? He got inside. It wasn't just how he, plus he lived everything that he said. He got inside. And for us to carry those around all those years, this shows you, and you know what a remarkable man he was, how he lives on. He lives on. And hearing from Cory and David and Galen and Zach and Mike, we just want to give you a few examples of how much that man not meant to us, but still means to us. Dr. Norris is with us, and she's in Atlanta, and it's probably past her bedtime. So for those of the newer Omegas who don't know Dr. Norris, she came in 1989, and she was our first academic director or coordinator of the Leadership Academy before Miss Estelle. And she knew Coach very, very well. In fact, she was the one that tried to tell Coach, I'm your best friend, and Coach had to correct her. But Doc, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here. Go ahead. You got the floor about our beloved Coach Wilbur Jiggetts.
Good evening. Thank you. It is so good to be with you all. Dr. Marshall, Jack, Miss Estelle, Rita, all of the alive and free, all the Omegas, new, old, whatever, y'all are y'all. And of course, Mrs. Jiggetts. Of course, Mrs. Jiggetts. And you know how deeply I love Coach. You know that from the bottom of your heart and the bottom of my heart, because we really are family. Something that I found out about Coach that I did not know as a child is that Coach and my father knew one another. And then Coach and my uncle grew to be very, very tight. And our churches, my home church of Missionary Temple, would do projects with Jones Memorial. And as God would have it, I ended up becoming a member of Jones Memorial before leaving the Bay Area. And all of this, it just, when I watch the tapes of Coach, when I hear each of you young men, you old men speaking now, it just says to me that spirit is so permanent, and there's no stopping spirit. It doesn't matter time, distance, place, circumstances. Trust me on this. You can never, ever, ever extinguish spirit. And isn't it wonderful that we've got the great spirit of Coach inside each of us? I am now, as Dr. Marshall said, I'm in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta in Lawrenceville. Retired in 2017. But I say I did not retire, I'm simply rewired. And hearing Mike Gibson, talk about what works. And, taking us down the roads, when Coach would drive down to California Youth Authority, all I could think about was the many trips, Marshall, that you, Coach, and I would take back and forth to LA and working with the Crips and working with the Bloods. And I wish you all could have seen Coach in there, talking to Lil Monster, and you've seen some of these folks on the big screen. You've seen Bone on the big screen. But Coach got in there. I'd be willing to bet you dollars to donuts to this day. I know for a fact, because I'm in touch with him, I know that Kershawn, Lil Monster, would tell you he wouldn't be doing what he's doing right now if it hadn't been for Coach sitting down with him 15 years ago and letting him know what time it is. Clay Sloan, Bone, who's been in Training Day and a whole lot of other films. He would not be where he is today, alive and free, had it not been for Coach sitting him down and going toe to toe with him right there in wherever it was that we were, Athens Park. I forget the names of the places, but we were down in South Central, you know, so when we were sitting there in that crazy guy's house, you know, with gunshots coming left and right. Coach was right there with us. You remember Loco, yeah, Loco's house. I mean, you would not believe some of the places and some of the situations that Coach put himself in simply because he loved each of you, those that he saw, and those of you who came after Coach went on to glory. I will tell you this, Coach did it for you, whether he knew you in the physical or not. He laid his life, his soul, his everything. He put it all out there on the field, just so that we would have, like Galen was saying, so that you'd be able to pass it on to your kids. You know, you got 15-year-olds. You know, some of you are now grandparents. You know, Shimmy, your grandmother. Some, you know, your grandparents. Lorraine's a grandmother. And what are you doing? You're passing this stuff on to your grandchildren. Now you tell me spirit's not powerful? That's nothing but spirit. And it's that's the DNA that's in Coach that flows through every single one of you. And that's, I mean, that's what has really enriched my life so much. I still talk to Coach like he's just right here with me because he is here with me. You know, I can't say enough about Coach, but I can tell you this, I'm going to wrap it up because not because it's my bedtime. It's past my bedtime. That happened a long time ago. Now I'm on fire. But the thing is, you know, my soror, who is sitting now in as Madam Vice President, said something, and I love what she said that her mother said to her. You may be the first, but you won't be the last.
Right.
And that is the philosophy of Omega, Alive and Free. You know, you may be the first. We've got a lot of firsts in there, but you'll never be the last because there's always going to be the next one stepping forward to become alive and free. Oh, but wait. Now I'm wrapping it up now. I promise you. But I've got to tell Michael Gibson's other part of the story, because Michael Gibson was refusing to come to class. And I'm teaching class. And Michael Gibson walked down that door, that hallway, I'm not going. Coach took him out into the shed. And the only way that Coach is the only one who could have done this. And he took him into the back shed and he gave him what for and why and went up one side and down the other. And the next thing you knew, Michael Gibson was sitting in that classroom. Michael Gibson, man, am I telling the truth or am I telling the truth?
You are telling the truth, Dr. Norris. You are telling.
I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you. Mike had just come out of YA. Yeah. And Mike was looking at me, he's like, no, I don't have time for her. You know, miss me with her. I don't want to hear it. What can she tell me? What can she do? I don't know what Coach said to him. I don't need to know what Coach said to him. I don't know what Coach did to him. I don't need to know what Coach did to him. All I know is that Coach got in Mike's DNA. And with that, Michael Gibson came on to class and you see the results. And now Michael has a son. Michael's son is the same age as my grandson because they're born just a day or two apart in October.
Right.
He's got a 13-year-old. And I know he's feeding him what Coach fed to him. That's it. That's all. I love you all. Happy 34th. I'm just so happy. You know, hi, Don Strand. I didn't see you down there. You know, everybody is here. Everybody. And I'm love being in the Mecca of change. And I can't wait for the air to be clear, the pandemic to be over so I can get out there and get down to City Hall and do some work because there's too much on the books. They're trying to suppress the votes. We got to make a change. You can't stop. Like I said, I'm retired. Yes, but I'm rewired. Yes. And I'm keep on going until God says, can't go no more. That's it and that's all. I love you all.
Thank you,
Mama
Doc.
Doris, we love you.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Good to see you. I'm gonna hang in here as long as I can.
We
I'll
love
go
you.
out quietly.
She'll be here for a minute. Listen, I
you,
know
Dr.
some of
Norris.
you,
Love
it may
you.
sound like we're putting too much on it, but we're not putting enough on it. You've heard Dr. Norris's story. I've seen Coach do some stuff. There was a time, and I think Mike remembers this, he went up to YA and these guys in YA weren't going to, we're going to listen to him and Martin Jacks and something. I've heard this story before. And, you know, these were young bucks and, you know, Coach was older. And, you know, these young dudes, some say, well, man, he said, well, man, you know, we from East Oakland. You can't mess with us. We from Oakland. Coach pulled off his jacket and says, I'm from East Baltimore.
Yeah.
Mike, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember, man. If I can just share it, man, it was, man, I remember that day as if it was yesterday. And it's been 20 something years, but, you know, we all came into the room and Martin Jacks walked in and Coach walked in with the Omega Boys Club jacket on. And William Calvert came in and the first thing that we looked for was the panic switch. And that's the little alarm box that they give you when you walk in an institution. So I asked Martin, I said, hey man, where's your panic switch? He looked at Coach and Coach said that little box they tried to give us up in the front. He said, oh, that. We told him we didn't want that. And I said, well, don't you know you in here with a bunch of killers and gangsters and hustlers and thugs and stuff? And they said, well, yeah, that's what they told us. And but Martin said, well, you know, we told him we didn't want that and that you guys are our brothers and that y'all want to jump on us because we're here to help you, then we can handle it. Martin said, I'm from Sabrani Park. And he took his suit jacket off and Coach said, yeah, I'm from East Baltimore. Came out his body, you know, I might be old, but I could kick some ass now. So, so then we all kind of sit back and was like, man, these dudes are some OGs. We good. Y'all got it. We not here to fight or nothing. So all these guys who was in there for all these robberies and attempted murders and murder charges was like humbled in that moment that Coach and Martin stood up and was like ready to hand out some ass whoopings that night, but that day. But from that moment on, everyone in the institution had respect for Martin and Coach, and you know, especially me, because when I met him, I was actually in solitary confinement, and I'd actually denied the program 3 times before I actually went. And when I went, my uniform was different than everyone else's. Everyone had the T-shirt and the jeans and the boots, and I had on the orange jumpsuit, the green jumpsuit, because I was in solitary, and they let me out to come to the program. And I remember after the class, Coach walked up to me and he asked me, you know, I noticed, he basically said, I noticed that your uniform is different than everyone else's. And I said, well, yeah, I'm in the solitary unit. I've been there for a year. I got 2 more weeks left because I've been in there a year. And then he asked me what I did, and I told him I assaulted a guard during one of the riots, and that got me locked up in the solitary. And Coach said, well, you know, you're in a no-win situation. You know, that they have all the power and all the control over your life, and you just giving it away by letting them lock you in solitary. He said, you need to understand the art of war. And I said, the what? He said, the art of war. And he said, if I bring you a book, would you read it? And I said, well, yes. That following week, Coach brought me a copy of The Art of War, Sun Tzu. And I've been studying that book for 20-something years, well over 20-something years, ever since. That book has gotten me through life. It's gotten me out of YA. It has gotten me through Morehouse, and it gotten me through grad school, and I was able to build a national recognized program based on the principles of the art of war. So I thank Coach for that. There's so much things that I can say about Coach, but what he meant for me, and it is true. When he brought me to the Omega Boys Club, told me I'm gonna sit through this class. I walked in and saw Dr. Norris and said, oh, hell no, I'm not walking in that class. I'll keep private because I don't want to embarrass myself on the things that he said to me out back. But I did end up back in that class. Didn't miss a class either. And but for that, I have to thank you, Dr. Norris, because as hard-headed as I was at the time and not willing to listen and take the medicine, that's what Dr. Martin and that you all said.
Thank you, Mike.
Tough. Some things were tough to swallow, but I have to just thank you all for that, because not only has it impacted my life, but it's impacted hundreds of lives of people that I've touched through programs that I developed. So thank you. And thank you, Mrs. Jiggetts, for letting us have some coach, because he is still alive and well in spirit. So thank you. I just wanted to say my piece while I had everybody on detention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
All right.
With a man like this, you could be doing 100 hours of tribute. So we're going to get as much as we can. You know, one of the coachisms that we have is that we're now related, but we're all family. And in this quote family structure, it's because of the way the ages were at that time. I was the father figure and Coach was the grandfather figure. I mean, it was so much. It was parallel, and Dr. Norris was the mother figure, and then Mrs. Stell became the mother figure. But I guess now I'm the grandfather figure. That's the way it goes. But and we function like that. And Dr. Norris knows that besides going to LA, we used to go to prisons. We used to go to Lompoc, and we would, which is down by Santa Barbara. And Jack, we would wake up at 4 a.m. and you know, I'd pick her up and we pick her up and we go get on a plane and fly to Lompoc, then drive to the airport. I mean, get to the airport and then drive to the prison and go into the prison. And my biggest concern actually going into the prison was that these guys hadn't seen a woman in so long. I was worried about when they saw Dr. Norris, what was going. But we would go into the prison and teach. And one time Coach didn't come, and it was just she and I. And I remember the guys saying, well, we're good to see you, but where that old man? We need to, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There's a million stories like that. Gloria, I'm really doing this for you because, you know, he probably didn't share all these anecdotes with you, the tough situations in it, but you know, he was like, and I seen it back, Gangsters Down and the whole bit. But when somebody leaves you like that, they leave you a legacy. And his legacy that allows us to keep him with us are the words that he shared. And we talk about him, we all talk about those words. So half of these, maybe 60% of them he did, but he so impacted us that we started to write and sound like Coach. So he does not get credit for all 23 of these, but he gets credit in that he influenced these words of wisdom. So Ann, why don't you put them on the screen? And as they do this, everybody think of their favorite coachism. And then we're going to go around and let people say what theirs was. And you remember this one, right? All right. Number one. Okay, and just let them go through. Thank you, Ann. In an African tradition, the elder, and that's just a beautiful word. Especially now that I'm an elder, I have to think it was a beautiful word. The elder leaves that for those to follow. Because one thing the elder understands in African tradition is that he's not or she is not always going to be here. And that the young must get it so that they can continue the traditions of the village and of the culture. So I'm gonna just let a couple of folks have their say before I turn it over to anybody who wants to say anything about Coach. I'm gonna start with Ms. Estelle. We'll start with you and we'll go to Don because let's start with you. Ms. Estelle,
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Hey, Ms. Jiggetts, how are you? You look absolutely beautiful. It is so good to see you. And oh my goodness, everybody else that's on the call, I see Jermaine's hand. Jermaine, your hand is up. And did you want it up? Was there something? So I see a hand. I can't help myself. Jermaine, did you have something you want to say, baby?
Of course, but I can go after.
Well, I'm just gonna step back so that you can put your hand down and say what you need to say, baby.
I just wanted to say that Coach really helped me out a lot in my life as far as with my anger issues and my temper was concerned. And one of the things that I didn't get till later on is that he would always be like, come hop in the car, let's go for a ride. Come hop in the car, let's go for a ride. And we would just sit up there and he'd just be driving around and we would chop it up, and I had a situation where I had a job one time at UPS and the supervisor was like kind of flashing on me and stuff. And I was really ready to whoop on him. I was about to like seriously give it to him. And Coach was like, just kill him with kindness. And I was like, killing with kindness. I'm like, dude, Coach, what are you talking about? I'm like, man, ain't nobody tripping off nothing like that. He was like, nah, man. And he gave me just a little blueprint. He said, if he come at you foul again, you talk to him like this, be respectful. Don't never put yourself in a bad situation and just let him know you a man too. And watch how he react to you. And I was like, all right, Coach, that ain't gonna work, dude. I said, okay, I hear what you're saying, and man, I did everything Coach told me to do, and it worked out so beautifully. And I had to adopt that into my life as far as killing people with kindness, because oh man, yeah. Coach taught me so much. And I'm gonna share one more thing that I was still back in the day. I still was carrying my gun with me every day. And one Tuesday, Coach said, man, he said, I know how you can not get stopped by the police and go to jail. And I said, for real? And he was like, yeah. I said, well, man, tell me. He said, no, I'll just come back on Thursday and I'll tell you on Thursday. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get there. I'm like, oh man, Coach about to give me some game for real. I'm like, oh, heck yeah. I was like, man, I could roll around and not get sweated by the police. I'm like, oh, I want to know that. And so we got together on Thursday and I said, so Coach, what's up? I said, you got to give me the game plan. He said, oh yeah, it's real simple. I said, what's that? He said, just don't have a gun in the car. And I was like, are you serious, man? He was like, yo. And I was like, oh man, that's so true though. If that's the one way to avoid it. So man, I love Coach so much. And a lot of the young people that I've worked with over the years, I've always shared the coachisms with them. And I can't even tell you how many asked me for a copy of it. And I just have to make copies of them and give them to them so they could, perform and do better in their life as well too. And I just want to thank Mrs. Jiggetts and Coach and everybody for all that y'all done for all of us and helping us grow into beautiful people, because we some beautiful people now. So thank y'all so much.
Jermaine, how well you listen determines how long you live.
Amen.
Every college student that goes away takes those coachisms with them. They got to figure out where they're gonna put them, on their refrigerator. That's probably the best place. These constant reminders, they pass them out to other people. Again, I'm saying this for you, Gloria. I want you to know where his word is, that you probably wouldn't even have an idea where those words are. Mrs. Stell, you want to take
those words?
Go ahead.
Coach's words have traveled all over the world.
Yes.
Every day, daily. And every year when we start this class, we start off with Coach, because we want the young people to know Coach is the foundation, fundamental part of what we teach, what we do, and what we want them to know and remember every day. It's not just during class, it's for the rest of their lives, for the rest of our lives. And you know, it's not just for the kids, it's for us. We use them and we remember too. So, you know, Coach, oh my goodness, what can I say? Before I get choked up, we love Coach. Miss Jiggetts, we love you. And the kids who are now little Silver, oh my goodness, running stuff. Oh my goodness. I heard Dr. Norris say Mike has a 13-year-old, but I want you to know he's got many kids. The young people that look at his face, those young people that he has touched and raised and re-raised, but so is Jermaine. And so is Cory. I mean, it's just spreading all over the place. It's just magnificent. And before I go too much, let me just go to Mama Rita. Mama Rita, because I know what time it is where you are. Both of y'all been up for a minute. And then there's little Miss Rashida, you know, so yes, I'm gonna just, would you have a few words? I know you just waiting, Mama Rita. Unmute yourself, baby.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see everyone's face, and this celebration for Coach, it just touched me so, because I remember those times, and I feel like I want to cry. That I just felt so blessed to have Coach in our lives, and I really, really appreciated, Gloria, you sharing him, just like has been said before. And then seeing all the young people as a mother in the community, it really changed my world, because besides me worrying about my daughter, I think I was in a very bad place as a mother in the community at the time that I started coming to the Omega Boys Club. And I'm just so happy with the success of all the young people over the years, and that I could do my small part to help that. And I remember whenever they gave me it was a Lifetime Award, Coach Award. And I had no words, because I didn't feel like there was no way I could even feel a small part of Coach's shoes, because he was just so amazing. And he was helping me as a mother. That coachism that says, you know, you can't do anything about the family you were born in, but you could do everything about the family that you create. Yes, that one meant so much to me, because my family life before, you know, me trying to create my own family was not good. So, you know, whenever I got that award, I had no words. And I remember I felt happy and wanted to cry at the same time. Coach had came to my daughter's graduation, Jamila and Layla's graduation. And I still can't put in word the feeling that all of us have with Coach taking the time to come and do that for my daughter. And then seeing how he worked with the young people, he just was amazing. And if I had a father or grandfather, Coach would have been it for me too. So even now, I think about Coach and I get choked up, because you know, there's just no words of the amount of love that he gave, you know.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Love you. But nothing but love for you.
I need to acknowledge Don, Miss Demetra, and I saw Kareem on the other. You know, so for each of you who have made it back, those of you who made it, those of you who are trying to get in and couldn't get in, for the young people who are just hearing these stories for the first time, what a blessing Coach has been and will continue to be to all of us. Thank you, Dr. Marshall.
Don?
Hey, oh, they
Yeah, this is truly a moment, you know. This is Yeah, so the coachism, of course, for me is we're not all related, but we're family. It's just amazing to see all these people. I mean, the generations. To think Cory is 50, right? Like that's just blowing my mind. And then to see Jada, you know, on the other extreme, where she's in college, and the breadth of this is just extraordinary. And I remember Coach was around probably. I came in around 2000, so about 3 years of Coach, and he was extraordinary. And of course, his words keep on getting passed down and passed down. So as Dr. Norris talks about the spirit just kind of continues through his words. And I can't help to think that how important these words are, but I know that he always pressed is you have to live that wisdom. That it wasn't just about the words. You can say the words, you can repeat them, you can memorize them, but they have to soak inside you. And when they're in you, like they're in all of us, then they're lifesavers at every level. And I agree with Mrs. Stellu, these words get passed on all over the world. There's a moment that just happens and the wisdom just kind of spills out at the right time. So his spirit is just magical. And as you can see over my right shoulder, that's Coach up there above the red door. For those that maybe didn't know him, but only knew him through this classroom, every time we go in and out of this sacred place, as I call it. And I know the club didn't start in this place, but for me, every time I walk in that room, something goes on. And so to pass underneath Coach's picture and come back through Coach's picture, it's like he's there. Every kid that wants to leave that classroom because they're too upset, and every kid that wants to come in through that classroom that's hoping that they can find some hope through that message, they pass right underneath Coach. So anyway, I feel very grateful and privileged to be part of this family. And for however reason we got here, I mean, we all have our own stories, how we ended up in this room. We just have to feel so blessed. We don't know what drew us, but in the end, I think it's something that takes place in this room, and we can't wait to get back into that room. So it's great always seeing you, Mrs. Jiggetts, and yeah, you look younger every time I see you, I swear. But it was such a gift for you to share his time, because I know that when somebody dedicates a lot of their life to those hours, a lot of times you're waiting at home for him to return. So anyway, it's a true blessing.
So what I'm going to ask you to do, in the interest of time, because I know it's like our meetings are like church, you know, how church is. Say your favorite coachism, and why it's your favorite coachism, and we'll take it from there, because it might be a lot of people that want to speak. I see Kareem, were you next, or would you want to jump in? I know you do. Please say to Irvin.
Man, I thought my lighting was good until I saw Mama Jiggetts. My gosh, she looking good today. We ain't got nothing on her light, and I ain't talking about the light that's in her house. I'm talking about the light that's within. Mama Jiggetts, thank you so much just for giving us the gift of Coach. I have very fond memories of Coach leaving Tuesday night meetings and letting us all know that he had to get home to his wife. That he loved us, but he had something better he needed to get home to. And I just want to thank you for those many Tuesday nights that you gave Coach to us. I too was one of those passengers in those slow rides with Coach. I remember early on trying to figure out why he was going so slow, but he was pouring so much into me. I used to be like, this is a little 2-3 minute ride up to the neighborhood house, and he done took the, whoo, man. But I was always thankful for Coach. One of the things that stand out, I mean, we all have like a Coach story, but I will never forget, and I'll make this quick. I must have brought home some of the most deplorable grades ever seen in Omega one semester. My goodness, I don't even know why I got on that plane.
And I remember thinking, I remember showing the grades to coach and then the meeting started and I thought coach was gonna do it in like a coach, you know, loving way, right? And I remember coach stood up in the meeting and coach said, I don't know what kind of grades Kareem brought home to us this semester. He said something to the effect of, did I even try? And that tough love from coach is what we all needed because it propelled me to go back and have one of the best semesters that I ever had in college. But I just remember he blasted me so hard, but I never felt any type of way. But that only thing I wanted to do was better. And I just thank coach for that moment because it just and he did it with so much love. And one of the coachisms as I wrap this up that coach left me with, and Dr. Marshall knows where I'm going. Don't let your circumstances dictate your behavior. My gosh, like time stopped when he said that because it puts so many things into perspective. And that coachism again, and I'll close with this, it will always meet you where you're at. Mm-hmm. And I just want to thank you, Mama Jiggetts. I love you all. I'm scrolling through my phone right now. Everybody looking beautiful. Hey, Miss Patterson, you know, I always shout you out. And this is Estelle, and I see you, Miss Mama Norris. Everybody, I'll be here all night saying names. So I love y'all. Thank you.
Hey, Doc, I want to say this. My best one was all you have to do is keep right. I mean, go straight. Something to that matter. It was like 20 years ago, but I know it's something to that matter. But I want to say this. I remember one night, and I know Kareem, CJ, all the old school, Mike, them remember this, man. This man spilled his heart out at Omega one night. He was just going. He gave his heart, Miss Jiggetts. He was putting it out there. And coach sat there after he was finished. I'm like, man, that was heart touching. Coach said, you know, and I know that was some bullshit. And I'm sorry for cussing, but I was just like, whoa. Like he just, man, like, oh, you can't talk to kids no more like that. They'd cry right out the building, right? But it was just deep. And coach just had to set dudes straight. Like, you know, Omega hard like that. Jack was the same way, Dr. Norris, especially Mr. Stell, Dr. Moore, they sick with it, but they getting better though. But man, that was just the deepest thing. And it taught me, because when I go to the jails, I just be shooting it straight. Like, I don't know no other way to put it from coming from, you know, old school Omega, live and free, man. It's just the realness. But I'll never forget that, man. He was just like, you know, and I know that was some bull crap. But Miss Jiggetts, thank you for that food y'all used to make. People don't understand, man. That was some of the best food I ever had in my life. You coming from school and you go up to the club, y'all had this. That was some good food. I didn't share it with nobody. If you didn't get none, too bad. Should have got here a little earlier. They talking about share. Oh, you better get here earlier. But thank you for what y'all used to do for bringing that food.
Thanks, Phil. Okay, favorite coachism? You got a quick story? There's a lot of y'all. And Ms. Stell, you're going to have to pick because I can't see everybody.
Well, I see Brittany's hand, so we're going to ask you to be succinct. So come on in. When you hear your name, come on in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. So my favorite coachism is what works, work, and what don't work. So stop doing stuff that don't work. Okay. And it's my favorite because you can use it in all aspects, especially with weight loss, school, whatever. It works.
Thank you, Brittany. CJ Scott.
Hello. I can't really pick one. I love them all. So I just want to say thank you to the Mama Linda's Bar coach. I just remember one thing he told me, why not you? You know, I was like, coach, I'm trying to do the right thing. Man, I'm on a bus. Everybody got cars. You know, why I got to go through all this? And he said, why not you? And he said some other things to me that just I applied to my life and continue to share to this day. So this is really just a shout out to coach, just to say thank you. I appreciate everything he did. I love coach. And Cory, I remember that when he said that about that dude. I love everybody. For the young Omegas, keep it going. The door you went through to start this journey is just going to open up so many doors. Don't give up. Don't quit. It's going to pay off. And for those who don't know your majors yet, do this. Write down everything that you want in life. Write down the type of house you want, the type of car you want to drive, the type of food you want to eat, vacations you want to go on, and then find out the jobs that pay the salary for you to get that. And that should help you pinpoint what you want to do. Over.
Thank you, CJ.
I see, John.
By the way, folks, this is from all over the country. CJ's back in the Midwest, and so
Detroit.
Yeah. All right, who's next? Favorite
John
coach?
Henry.
Hello, everyone. I'm late on the conversation. I heard a little bit. I was live on my show. I just want to say to Dr. Marshall, Ms. Norris, all of the founders, you guys have did a phenomenal job for San Francisco and beyond. I'm happy to be here tonight, just to be a part of this, to be able to celebrate, to see all my brothers and sisters on here, Kareem, Cory, T, the sisters. I mean, what a powerful thing that's going on here, to see all you guys evolve and do the amazing things that you guys are doing. My brother Jermaine, I see y'all, man. I mean, to have this tonight is very powerful, especially why it is, Women's History Month. A lot of you sisters on here are doing some amazing things to continue making women history and doing things to impact our community. And I'm just blessed to be a part of this organization and being able to be a part of some phenomenal people. And I'm just blessed. And I just want to thank all you guys that impact my life, my daughter's life, my granddaughter's life, for all you guys that continue to support me and my endeavors and my journeys. Man, I just love all you guys. And this is the real family. And a lot of you know me, my family is big, but it's a disconnected family. But with this Omega family, this Alive and Free family, oh man, you guys made my life something, man. Just emotional to be able to see all the people that impacted me. And I'm just happy to be here tonight. And thank you, Dr. Marshall, for all the things you've done. Jack, Dr. Norris, Mrs. Stale, and all the back end support, all of the Omega alumni, all the people. I just love you guys all. And I just thank you for the invite, being here. And thank you, Dr. Marshall, for all the conversations, the late nights, the texts, Jack, the 3,000 meetings at Juvenile 2 times a week, yelling, screaming. My brother Cory, I love you, man. Just proud to see you
Love
turn.
you too, brother.
Cory was my first mentor, worked with me when I was going through my struggles locked up. And just to have an amazing brother like that, to keep the connection over the years. He taught me so many things, me and Kareem, so many meetings. And I love all you guys, man. That's all I wanted to say. I know I missed a lot of it, but I just love you all and keep doing the things you're doing. And I just want to say one thing. I talked to Cowboy last night. I don't know if he was on here. He needs a computer, and I told him I'm gonna send him a computer because he's been trying to get involved with some of the stuff, but he doesn't have a computer. But he did want me to tell everybody that he loves you guys. He is proud of you guys. And he just want to let everybody know he loves him and he's doing well. And make sure you guys reach out to him because he loves to have the conversation with everybody.
Thank you, John.
Proud of you, John. T-Top got his hand up.
What's going on? What's going on, family?
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
My favorite coachism, man, is you only one bad decision away.
Amen.
So, that's been deep for me, and Omega's been big for me. Mama Jiggetts, I mean, your husband was that father figure, that positive, strong Black man, that role model. He was at every one of my football games, and he was at my graduation. So just want to send the love, and he made me into the man I am today with the village. But he was that head. He was that head. So appreciate that. One love.
Thank you, Top. Thank you, Chief. Anybody else? Your favorite coachism? Jump in. Let's do it. We're getting in the home stretch.
I don't see any hands, but I'm gonna call out Jamie Shaw.
Jamie.
I didn't even see Jamie. What's up, sis?
Hi, you guys.
Hi, Jamie.
I don't know if I'm
What's
on
up,
there.
Jamie?
Hi. I'm probably like one of the quietest one in the groups, even though I've been here or part of Omega from the beginning, really not much of a speaker, but I hold Coach dear in my heart. I walk the walk, I talk the talk at Juvenile Hall on a daily basis, and also with my children. Main thing that I remember about Coach is my graduation. He came down to Grambling, and Andre and I went to school together. And as close as we were at in Omega, at Grambling, we act like we didn't know each other. We had the same classes, sitting near each other, but wouldn't speak and didn't really know why. So when Coach came down, you know, he's like, talked about Dre. And I said, you know, Dre and I don't talk. He was like, oh no, we don't do this. Where is he at? I'm about to call him. He brought Dre to me, and me and him had a talk, and we walked around my block for hours just talking. And it was all because of Coach, because he knows that we're family first, and we're gonna stay family no matter how far or where we're at. And I guess if we were anywhere else, we probably would have got our butts whooped for that behavior at Grambling. So I definitely remembered that. I thanked him. Dre and I talk about it all the time. And I love them. I miss them. And I know everyone else does as well. And love you guys.
Love you, baby.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, anybody else? Get it in. Your favorite coachism. Let's do it.
I'm going to hear from Shawnee and then Lynette. Come on, Shawnee, unmute.
Hi, everybody.
Shawnee Bennett.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I have so many fond memories of Coach. You know, I was the new baby of the group. Tiana and I, we always fight over that position. But I was the new baby of the group, and just always his presence, his wisdom. He'll always like pull you to the side and just drop some knowledge to you. He is so missed. I communicate with his daughter on social media, so so much honor to still have a connection through Omega and I'm happy that we have the coachism. It's so many, I can't really pinpoint one, but because we don't have him in the present form, having his coachism to pass on to our children and the new generation of Omegas is awesome, because it helped me through college. I can honestly say those lonely days in the dorm rooms, being able to reflect and look and remember what I was taught in Omega, it just kind of, you know, get you through those times, those rough times, because they were rough. So Mama Gloria, we love you. We thank you for giving him to us, allowing us to have him and share his love with us. And hi, Mama Norris, I love you. Hi, Mama Estelle and Dr. Marshall and Don. I love you guys, all my brothers and sisters. Congratulations on 34 years. And that's it.
Thank you, baby. Lynette.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Omega family. Everybody calls me Sean, but Lynette is good.
All right. Well, I see Lynette Owen, so that's why I'm here.
What's up, Lynette?
All right, Sean.
First, Sean.
Okay.
Anyway, so I want to say that my grandfather passed away long before I was even born. So having Coach around and having his spirit around and having him just being that older man around really was good for me, because I never knew what it was like to have a grandfather. But having Coach there, it was like he took that position. And also he commanded respect, and I loved and respected him for that. And I can't think of one specific coachism that really affected me. However, all of them did. And listening to his voice was very, very calm, and I just respected him to the utmost. So I appreciate Coach. And I also want to appreciate his wife for sharing him with us unselfishly. That is so awesome. And everybody can't do that. So I just want to say that I want to be like you when I grow up.
Where Niecy at? There's no Niecy without a Sean. I know y'all somewhere close together. I know she was somewhere on the phone or something. Love y'all.
Thank you, baby.
Right, that's right.
Listen.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going home tonight.
Okay, look, we're getting into the home stretch. I want to do this because Coach was just as eager, you know, to see the new Omegas. And, you know, we have a saying here that the way this thing has always moved forward is that the most important Omega is the next Omega. So we have a bunch of the new ones on that a lot of you haven't met yet. So all of those who just learned the coachisms and are part of the new Omega group, just raise your hand so they can see you. Just raise your hand. Jaira, will you guys raise your hand, please? Anta, will you raise your hand? Okay.
Like this.
Let them know who you are. This is a new group. It's a new group who are learning all of these. Just learned them 2 weeks ago, and then we're talking about them tonight. Coach will be very proud of you. And there's just a couple I want to talk about here who are carrying on the work that Coach would love, Coach Jiggetts. I don't know, is Siobhan still on? Siobhan, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I don't know if you've been reading about Lowell High School.
Siobhan be on the news all the time.
What's going on? And you know, this is a year of the folks standing up. And Lowell has been a problem for years with the racism at the school, and nothing has ever really been done. But about in the month of February, Black History Month, which is also so ironic because Omega was founded in Black History Month. This group of young ladies, they call themselves the Lowell 8, in homage to the Little Rock 9, stood up to the school board in the city of San Francisco and said, it's time for a change. And they did it. They changed. Lowell is no longer a merit-based school. It is now a public high school everybody can go to, like everybody else. That hadn't happened for how many years? But it took an Omega as a leader to do it. And that person is Siobhan Hines Foster. So Siobhan, just show your face, raise your hand, let folks know that you are continuing a legacy of, and you can say your favorite coachism. And then I got one more I want to spotlight. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Earlier, somebody brought up what works and what doesn't work. That definitely helped me a lot with the process. Stop going to people who aren't going to support you because they're not going to help you get this done. So make your own way.
Dr.
Marshall, can you hear me?
Huh?
Can you hear me? That's my
Derek.
I don't know who that was. So
we can't hear you, Dirk. What happened?
I just wanted to say that while she was doing this, you guys need to know, speaking at the school board, she got death threats. She went through it, and but she persevered, just like Coach would have wanted her to do, and a change is made. That's the next generation of
that's awesome.
Vegas.
That's can you hear me now? There you go. Oh, so I just wanted to say that I was like, oh, that's my neighbor right there. I've been knowing her, and she go to Lowell. I told her my sister went to Lowell, so I talk to her all the time and say, I'm so glad she's going to Lowell. She's a very smart girl, and her mama is a pillar in the community too. She got a store on 3rd Street, so she's definitely got a good role model in her life and stuff like that. I just want to say, commend her for what she did, going to Lowell. Because my sister went there, and if she was one of 5 Black people went there, so I know she know what's going on, something like that. So, and it seems like every coachism is number one seems to be the one that we all can relate to. That's my favorite one too, and stuff like that. So I get to hear him say it all the time when I was young. So I just want to say thanks, Siobhan, for my neighbor. I just want to say hi to you. It's a small world. We all family.
Absolutely, thank you, Derek. And there's one other I want to spotlight, and that's Erica Morris. Erica, you still here? Erica,
yes, I'm still here.
You still here?
Yes.
And Erica, just say what you do with the Citywide BSU. Just say that very quickly.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I am the founder of San Francisco Citywide Black Student Union, which compromises of Black students all around San Francisco, no matter what school they go to, and bringing a support group for all of our Black students. Even students in Daly City are also in our group, and we're just trying to make a difference and be there for each other during this time.
And Erica, you know, something's going on with Black folks in San Francisco. You know what? I'd like you to tell us about that. Better yet, why don't we let you tell us about that if you don't mind? And if you do mind,
can you like further explain?
Would you let Erica tell us what's going on with Black folks in San Francisco?
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello, my name is Erica. I'm a youth commissioner for District 11, and I attend St. Ignatius as a senior. Today, I'll be reading my poem, What Does It Mean to Be Black in San Francisco? I'm Black and proud, and I say it loud. My melanated skin is so beautiful, with naps of my hair laid so suitable. With such an enriching history of creations, we as a people have marked this nation. But I was asked, what does it mean to be Black in SF? It means there's only 6% left. It means that I may not see people who look like me, but I know this is the right place I need to be. It means I touch and connect with my people, because to see Black people succeed is so peaceful. It means I'm a part of a line of Black people making history, because we love to hear Mayor Breed's story. We are part of a legacy of Willie Brown, who shared the knowledge of his crown with London Breed, who helped us see Black people succeed. Same as President Walton, who will never be forgotten. But we also need to think about the community groups that helped our Black children get through the hoops, like 100% college prep and Omega Live and Free. We all need to acknowledge Mega Black and SF Black Wall Street. It's the Genesis and Rebels that help us succeed, because it showed us how much they believed in us, in our future, taught us to learn, and learning more is always cooler. These organizations and people are Black SF, and what it means to be the only 6%. So even though we may not be the majority, we are the story.
So Mama Jiggetts, just want you to show, want the coach to know that 34 years later, they still blowing up. They're making change. What can you say? Lady Estelle, you got to tell me how long you want this to go, but I just tell Mama Jiggetts this. Coach's words have been in Thailand, in South Africa, in Botswana, in Nigeria, in Japan. Is there any place in Montreal, in Toronto, in Halifax, and I think so too. But I'm saying that I have said his words in all of those places. That we use on the radio show. And just showed me a map of the radio show when we talk about Coach on the radio show. And that show has been downloaded in St. Petersburg, Russia. Now, look, I don't know. All I'm saying is this whole thing of the legacy of Coach Jiggetts, Coach Wilbur Jiggetts, your husband, will continue and continue and continue and continue. And we can't stop it. So on this 34th anniversary, we wanted to
Doc, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
I'm on mute?
Oh, I can hear him. We can hear you.
Oh, I can hear you. I just want to tell you that his legacy is going to continue and continue and continue and continue. It is 9 o'clock.
I'm gonna jump in. I want Jaira to wave your hand. Here's another spoken word artist. I want Anta, who spent some time in Senegal and did not miss a class. I need you to raise your hand.
Is she in Senegal now or is she back home?
I think she's back.
I'm back.
Then there's Mekdes, all the way from Africa. We've got young people. We've got Alea. We've got young people from all over the world. Brilliant, focused, ready to learn, and ready and willing and using the information that they're getting. So I want to just, we heard from Erica, and there is more. There are others who have something to say. It's wonderful that we can do this, and we can do this again. We've got Jada, bless her heart, an amazing writer. Where are you, in Boston? Jada, unmute. Where are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
In New Jersey. And then, let's see, Melanie, who's brilliant. And then I'm going to just, not to forget, Evangela. I need to also, Mr. Mitra. Is there anything that you would like to say, Mr. Mitra?
Well, I can't pass, so I'm gonna definitely. I did not have the honor of knowing Coach in the physical form, but you cannot pay me to believe that I didn't. What I have experienced through just Omega and the folks through Omega and just his words that will not die have changed my life tremendously. And Mama Jiggetts, I'll leave you with this story. I support CEOs for a living. And one of the times I left, I had to have a pretty, it wasn't intense, but a needed conversation with the CEO. And during that time, I shared with him, it's been a ride. I've learned a lot, but even in it all, it's never an excuse for bad manners. And he had to pause during that conversation and take that in. And I brought in the lady who took my place and trained her up. And she actually loves her job. And she talks about that CEO in a way that I didn't see him, or he didn't allow me to see him. And I just have to know that those words that Coach spoke and that I spoke to him definitely impacted how he decided to engage with his new person. So I thank you for allowing him to enter in my life. And I hadn't even come to Omega just yet. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Mr. Mitchell, you're not getting away without telling everybody about that fabulous award. You got to do it because Coach would love it. Go ahead, tell everybody.
Again, I can't pass. So, yeah, so part of that trying time, again, just coming through this place and just moving through, I worked my tail off, and I was able to walk away with the Emmy Award for a show called Black Women Own the Conversation. So yeah, I won an Emmy for that show, and it's sitting in my room, an actual Emmy statue with my name on it. So yeah.
Where is it? Where is it? Go get it.
Oh my gosh.
And bring up the picture. And
show the hardware. Show the hardware.
And if you got a picture, hold on.
Yeah,
and bring up the picture.
Sorry,
and while Ann is bringing up the picture, let me just say that there's somebody here that has something to say. I know that it's been a lot.
There it is.
But
it is.
That's Demetria. Yes.
Yeah. Emmy Award-winning Demetria Jones. Thank you, Miss Demetria.
I don't want us to leave.
Thank you.
I would not want us to leave. And then you leave and we close the Zoom. And Miss Mitchell, you say, I wished I had I wanted to say, I wanted to say something. I just sat there quiet, and now I wished I had said something. And then there's somebody else. Where is Yvette? Who would say,
I know the meeting going to 10. I know y'all don't end early.
you know,
right now.
We started at 7:30, so
I
we
mean,
going 9.
those are
we getting old now. We ending at 9.
Well, we used to start at 8:30.
and
It's after 9 o'clock. It's after 9.
Y'all just talk.
It's midnight.
I know. But I don't want you to leave and hang up and then say I wished I had it, because I wanted to say something, Miss Jiggetts, and then you didn't. So if you feel it, don't let this moment pass. Please say something.
Miss Jiggetts, if you got to grab your purse like Coach used to grab his coat and his hat, we understand.
I do want to, this is Siobhan. I do want to tell Miss Mama Jiggetts that I miss you, and I'm coming by, do a drive-by with my grandbaby, because you need to see her soon. And I'm a little emotional because there's not one person on this call that's not important. And so just the things that resonates with me is that everyone on the call matters, right? Sometimes you're not able to tell your story and speak up, and that people will blatantly dismiss you. And it's not always intentional, but it happens. And so just know that you matter. And when you are by yourself, just remember that you matter. You really matter. And that there are so many gardens on this call. I think about, when they say give the person their flowers before they die. And I think Coach would be so proud and so excited about the flowers that are here. There's so many people doing so much wonderful work, and I don't think Dr. Marshall and Jack knew I know they had the intention of helping 15 little Black boys from Betrayal Hill 34 years ago, but the impact, oh my God. And it's always been more about, it's been much more bigger than them two men that's in their 70s and their 80s, right? No one talks about that they are, they too are older now. So just know that, keep doing the work, people, because the work doesn't stop. And we'll be talking like this when just keep up the good work. Don't be distracted. And the favorite coachism for me is like, what works, when don't work, and it don't make sense to keep doing shit that don't work. Coach
That's what he said.
So we can try to censor.
That's right.
You can't censor people's words, because so make sure you keep telling your narrative and your truth, because you're the only one that could tell it best.
That's right. Amen, sister. Amen.
There's somebody else. Don't let this.
We love you, Siobhan. We love you.
I want to jump in real quick and just say that hi everybody. It's so good to see everybody. Mother Jay, I love you so much. I was blessed to have a double dose of Coach. I've known him my whole life. Mother Jay and my grandmother were best friends. And the one coachism that resonates with me is you can't do anything about the family you were born into, but you do everything about the family you create. I use all of it every day in the county jails. Miss you, Cory, in the jails. Miss you, John Henry, Jack. I've been holding it down, and I take Omega with me everywhere I go. I was on a call this morning talking about the violence prevention work. It's just so important, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of something so amazing. 34 years, wow. I remember coming in 1999 pregnant with Noah. Noah was born on Paul's birthday on January 11th on a Tuesday. Noah is currently a junior at UC Davis. So just, shout out to everybody. And I wasn't getting choked up till Shimmy started talking. Everybody is just doing some incredible work. Shimmy, I see you. Everybody just continue to get that healing, keep us alive and free. And thank you all for putting this together tonight.
Thank you. Don't let this moment pass. If there's something, Please don't let this moment pass. Nzinga.
Well, I want to say,
Give me
as
1 second, I
everyone
was
has
on
said
mute.
tonight, as everyone has said tonight, go ahead.
Yeah, to Mrs. Jiggetts, just I echo what everyone have said previously before me, which is thank you for being so selfless and for sharing him with us. I'll never forget, because like Kareem said, and like everyone said, that coach just definitely had a way of getting you together. And I remember when I was young and my cousins and I, coach was talking and we were 14, 15, and we had a conversation too. And he quickly cut that conversation off. And he did it in a way that was saying, you know what? We have to give respect. And, you know, from then I was like, he's the coach and he's running the show. But of the coaches, I repeat 2 of them fairly often to myself, which is to turn right and to keep straight. Because it is, to me, very simple wisdom. If you go the right way, just stay on that path.
Right.
And then everyone's also favorite is what works, works, and what don't work. And it really don't make no sense to do shit that don't work. And, you know, when we live in life and you're going and going and going, and if you keep running into that wall, you have to figure out that's not working and to pivot. So very clear, clean wisdom that I received 14, 15 years old that really has guided me throughout my life and was such a benefit because when I went off to college, you know, my peers, they didn't have what I went into college with. And that was a blessing. So to have known him and to have experienced him is just one of the greatest blessings in my life. And so thank you all for sharing him with me.
Thank you, Nzinga. All right, Dr. Marshall, I will turn it back over to you.
It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And I guess the wonderful thing is it's going to keep going. It keeps going because we got a wonderful new group and have a wonderful new group after that. All of this continues to live on through the words and deeds of everyone who has come through Live and Free Omega Boys Club. Tonight is Coach's Night because he has been a huge part of keeping it going through. And his words heal the world. His words save the world, not just through us, through those that hear them. His words heal and save the world. So, Ms. Jiggetts, you know, you're the other star here tonight. Just thanks. Just thanks. We hope we do you justice. It's like we hope that we did Coach justice. And we're going to keep it going.
I have one more guest who wants to say something. He's coming in right now. Let's see. Are you there? Shaman, are you there? Can you hear us?
Man, I was about to call you and go off. You better come on here.
Hey, that boy is running the city. Go ahead, Man. You there?
I am here and just excited to see everybody. My apologies for my tardiness, but
no need to apologize.
It's amazing to celebrate 34 years and do this in remembrance of Coach, who one made sure that not only he trained us, but attended all of our graduations. And I think that's the big thing that everyone needs to remember and understand, that Coach took the time to come to every graduation while he was here for everyone. And so I apologize for being late. I've been working, and it's good to see everybody to celebrate this 34 years. And
love you, Man. So when Shaman took over this, I think remember Shaman is the Speaker of the House of not Speaker of the House. I mean, he's the President.
the President of the Board of Supervisors.
I didn't even let him get to it. He's the President of the Board of Supervisors.
First black man.
That is a very, very second most powerful position in the city. And so what I did when he got that, I sent him an email, and I sent him the coachisms, and I said, you're gonna need all of these. And he sent me an email, and he said, Doc, I live by all of these every day. And I know if he continues to use and listen to Coach's words, I know the city's in good hands. I want to make sure that he remains true to who he is. Jack, thank you, Siobhan.
All right, we always close it with the prayer. I'm not muted, am I? No.
Wait up, man. We can't hear you,
listen.
man. Man, hold on, man. We
Man.
can't hear you, man.
Man,
Yeah,
y'all got
so-
Jack on Zoom. That's live.
Hey, yeah, listen, this ain't easy, I'll tell you. But the truth is, it was said here earlier, I think Dr. Norris was the one that started it. It was about the spirit of Coach. Spirit's still here. Coach is alive within us. It's obvious. The proof to that is what we've heard tonight. But also the message is what we know we owe. So Coach, who also earlier was talking in that a documentary about being 74 years old, and at the time of 74, he needed to do something and show people and rise up and speak the truth. So now this is for everybody. We tell all the time, Cory, John, myself, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, all the way up to 80 and 90-year-olds, stand up and speak the truth. You understand me? And so I just challenge through Coach. The spirit of Coach is telling me right before we say amen, he's telling me, the spirit of Coach, very clear, stand up. What you know, you owe. Not just honor the great man, Mr. Wilbur Jiggetts, but to honor yourself in the process of this family, to stand up tomorrow when you need to at the proper time. And like Mrs. Stell just said, don't take it back with you on the ride home, what you should have done, could have done, but you do it with the spirit of Coach. The other thing about Coach, it really wasn't brought up too much tonight. He was spiritual. He was a strong spirit in the form of the church. Jones, and I know that, Miss Jiggetts, Gloria was talking earlier about the group, the Ella May group at Jones Methodist Church, which was for us as we started. But again, the fact that Coach walked in the spirit of all those men in that book and all those women in that book, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Coach was a soldier for God, the God of your choice. That's why he went to the graduation. That's why he went to Log Cabin Ranch all the time. Why he went to California Youth Authority. He was in court. He used to sit, always reading. That's something I just thought of. He always had a book in his hand. I mean, reading. He'd wait for court and would be reading. I don't know what he was reading, but I know it was something we all would be reading. But the fact of the matter is that Coach, and Michael Gibson can attune to that, was always a serious man and a God-fearing man. And so we need to make that clear in the spirit of this family. We always end this with a prayer, always say it's the God of our choice. Gloria Jiggetts, Jiggetts family, the spirit is all here. They're always the spirit together. We stand by, we follow the spirit. We're together here. Always have you and your spirit and your family spirit with Coach right there. So that's the message, the God of our choice. We continue marching on, walking on, we the soldiers, we the changers. This is the time to stand up and rise up until we meet again. Wherever it is, can I hear amen?
Amen.
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 Let's go, John.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Put it out there. Many amen.
You already
And it's
know,
all
Jack.
love. It's all love.
It's all love, baby. It's
What it
all
is.
love, baby.
Good night, everybody.
Amen. Wizard is here. The wizard is here.
Can y'all
I
fold
love
up
y'all.
y'all chairs
Family.
and put them up against the wall, please? Before leaving, please pick up all of your things.
Hey, Kareem.
Thank you, Kareem.
Thank
you, Kareem.
Now leave this place a mess, okay?
Deontay.
So the official
Love
meeting
you,
is
Miss
over. Now
Jiggetts.
y'all talk all you want.
Throw all your trash away, please. Any trash on the table, snacks will be eliminated next week.
I just want to say about Coach, like when I have my daughter, tonight is my tomorrow morning, my granddaughter be 5 years old. And I just remember when Coach was at Patrol Hill neighborhood, I used to always be worried, come up with excuses. And Coach say, "You ain't got no excuses down here. You just got to keep waking up every day, every day." You see it. now I got a grandbaby, 5 years old. God, man, it's crazy.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
What's up, Mike Gibson? What's up, man?
When this happened,
What's
going
on,
Cory?
Man, it's good to see you, brother.
Man, happy 50th birthday, boy.
We love you too, Miss Jiggetts.
Love you, Miss
Thank
Jiggetts.
you.
Corey, can I get a ride home?
Right.
I'm going to Fillmore.
Thank
Look at Miss
you.
Rita up there. Hey, Miss Rita. I didn't even see Miss Rita up there. Hey, Miss Rita.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, Miss Jiggetts.
Gennaro, when
I'm
you
gonna
hop
call
on?
you.
Look
I
at
just
Gennaro
got
in the
here.
house.
It's so crazy.
All right, everybody.
This is
Bye-bye.
amazing. This
Bye,
is
Miss
truly
Love
amazing.
y'all.
Bye, Miss Jiggetts.
Love
Y'all
y'all.
have a good
Hi,
night.
Brother Shay.
Good night.
Love
You
you.
guys take
My love, my love. Patty,
Follow
Dr. Love y'all.
your
Right.
faces. Know of your
Yeah,
success.
boy, Cory, what's up, man? I'm gonna have to come
Man.
and see you, boy.
What's up, man? What's up? Look at
Hi, Miss
Deontay. The mentoring
Peterson.
center is in the building.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at
Corey,
Shawnee.
5-0, man.
Shawnee.
Listen, hey,
How are
hey,
you?
a lot of y'all followers
Hi,
behind me.
Auntie
Some of y'all
Rita.
got eyes. Look at Shawnee. What's up, Shawnee?
What's up,
What's
Shotty?
up, Corey? What's up?
I love you all, but I have to go now.
Who was
Love
that,
you,
Zach?
sissy.
Bye.
All righty. Good night.